Welcome back to Book Bingers, the podcast where we mostly talk about books, but the past couple of weeks we've been talking about books and movies.
And now
we're talking TV shows.
we sure are.
So I feel like this list is a lot longer than the other ones that we've had.
It sure is. This one's going to be about books and TV shows, but TV shows we think are live up to the book or
better than or equel to.
Yeah, better than or equal to. Yeah. It's the Pac-Man.
Greater than?
Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Okay, we've got a long list for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Let it be known, there are probably a lot more, but we haven't necessarily read everything and watched everything. So if you have some, feel free to put it on there because there's a good chance we forgot some.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of TV.
She sure does.
Like a psychotic amount. And I know that there are going to be some controversial ones on here. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Let's start a fun little chat where you tell me how wrong I am.
Let's have some fun discourse in the comments.
Keep it clean, folks. Keep it clean and keep it nice because I'm coming in hot with some controversial ones. But I think we all agree with the first one. So let's start with one.
The least controversial.
Least controversial. Let's get it out of the way. Game of Thrones.
I'm so sorry, George R.R. Martin.
Listen, I read all the books that are out. Okay, that's a different topic.
Mm-hmm. It was tough sledding.
Especially the last one. Well, the last two that take place at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we spend so many pages talking about flags? Ships and flags and colors and things I don't give a shit about. But the show came to fucking play until the last season. We're not talking last season, folks. No. We're talking as a whole. The show started off with a bang. And did you read the book before you watched the show?
I did.
So I watched the first season without reading the books. And I was like, oh shit, this is good. Let me go read them books. And I'm kind of thankful because I didn't know what was coming in the first season. Yeah. And that was exciting.
Yeah. It was
a big moment. And I realized not everybody has watched it yet, even though it's been out for a while. But I still have friends that are currently watching it.
Yeah. I feel like there's quite a few people who are just...
I think maybe House of the Dragon was like, let's do it up.
Season 2.
Hello!
June.
So good! Can't wait!
The Boys.
House of the Dragon.
There's one other big one that's in June.
Something else.
But, I mean, it's not on here, but The Boys is...
It is. I know. I haven't read it.
We haven't read it, but...
I know.
Man, that show.
But that show.
Yeah.
But back to Game of Thrones. Because we go on tangents.
This is what I mean.
This is why we have no friends. Game of Thrones. Such a good show. I don't care what anybody says. Come at me in the comments if you want, but you're wrong. The show is better than the books. Save yourself the time and trouble.
George might be in the comments, which then
listen,
will just say,
George,
hey, get back to writing, man.
Finish the books, sir, before James Patterson has to take over.
Brandon Sanderson could do it in a day.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Brandon.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I've read Wheel of Time so that I could put this on here because I loved the show, but I haven't read Wheel of Time. And I think I probably should. I don't know. Have you read it? Should I read it? Is it worth it? Wheel of Time.
You like the show.
Love the show, but I can't comment on how it compares to the book.
I mean, it's March.
Yeah.
And you did say one of your goals for this year was to read a Brandon Sanderson book.
I know. I think I'm going to start with Mistborn.
Okay.
Have you read it?
Nope.
Okay, I think I'm going to do it. Right. Add it to the TBR because the list is long, but I will get to it before the year is done. Moving on.
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yay!
I love this show.
And
I like the books. I think this is an equal to moment.
Yes, I wouldn't say it's better, but it lives up to the books.
Lives up to it, absolutely.
It's so good and cute and pure and amazing. A little love triangle, which I normally hate.
Hate love triangles, generally.
But boy, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love it. And this last season made me ball.
I tell you, becoming a parent really
It's the pits.
It brings a new level of emotions.
It does. Well, and it doesn't help that, in my personal life, viewers, if you don't know, my husband has cancer. So watching that season was very emotional for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, hit hard. Yeah. Let's move on to something else before I start crying.
I wouldn't say something happier.
No. But a different vibe.
Different vibe.
Big Little Lies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love that show.
Oh, the casting. Oh. When I tell you,
top notch.
Alexander Skarsgård may be on this list a few times.
Yeah.
That man does things to me, but boy, was he perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, girl, I did not know that you could bring that kind of emotion, because usually her face doesn't move.
Truly.
But this show,
yeah, it moved.
It moved.
Yeah.
I was like, Nicole Kidman.
We got Meryl Streep.
I mean, Reese. This is like what really kind of started the whole Reese thing. Yeah. And like Shailene Woodley.
Yeah. Zoe
Kravitz. Dude, it was so good. Let's not forget Adam Scott was in this. And I love me some Adam Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the show is so good. Shit.
And I did love the book.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I actually think this might be better than the book.
I agree.
Season 2 is its own thing.
That's a separate entity.
That's a separate,
yeah.
I don't even know.
Because
there's only one book.
Second book.
Yeah, there's only one book.
Yeah.
So, Meryl Streep came in on that one.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to remember Meryl Streep.
Truly.
Totally taking it into a fun little vibe, which you are now just reading the books.
Yeah. I read the first one. Bridgerton.
Okay, so as someone who the book is fresh in your mind, because I read these books a hot minute ago, what do you think? You've read first book?
Yes.
Season 1 versus first book.
I think, and I go back and forth, because honestly, the book was a good time.
Yeah. No,
and
fun. Good stuff.
I don't know if because I've seen the book, so I already have the visual and everything, if that like only elevated the book for me.
Because you had seen the show first.
So, because generally like a Regency theme is not
your vibe.
Quite what I would.
But when you know who was cast in season 1, you're like.
But Bridgerton kind of changed that for me. Yeah. Whereas, and I didn't know that the book was also going to have that more kind of a modern vibe.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I would still say the show is better.
The show is better, and I think the music elevates the show so much.
Absolutely.
Where in a book you can only, I don't know, imagine music so much, but like the music, the modern music to like, I don't know.
And the Queen is not in the book.
Correct.
And what's her face? The Simon's aunt.
Yes.
What's her face?
I'm blanking on her name.
Yeah. She's like not really in it either.
Not really, but they got their own little show.
Yes.
Which was great.
Do they? I don't know if they become more relevant.
A little, but never as much as they are in the show.
Yeah.
But I loved the show. I mean, I still love the show, and I'm very excited for the next season, which comes out in May
and June, I think.
It's a 2-parter.
Netflix is really doing us dirty. Like, just drop them all.
Can you stop?
What, you gonna drop 3 episodes?
I can't.
Get out of here.
I can't. They better be 2-hour-long episodes. No, I'm excited.
Colin and Penelope.
I really loved that book, so I'm very...
I mean, now I feel like I probably have time to get through. I loved Anthony and Kate, like, so much. So I definitely want to read that book.
Yeah.
And a little Enemies to Lovers.
Ooh, we love it.
What I mean?
Love to see it.
And then if I read, I wonder, should I wait until after? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Do I want to know what happens? I don't know.
I feel like with these books, it's okay to know what's going to happen because it's not ooh, a twist.
Yeah, you know ultimately what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, switching gears, we've talked about this book a few times.
Quite a few times.
Which is weird because it's not like I am obsessed with this book by any means. But Shadow and Bone. Okay.
And really, so this series really encompasses both Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows.
And I think that's what makes the show So good.
I agree. I would say show better than books.
Yes, because the Six of Crows storyline ended up being my favorite part of that show. But I'm just going to say, now that the show's canceled, I'm just going to say they made a fatal error in season 2. And I think that's really what their downfall was. It was for me. I was like, I don't even want to watch it anymore. They combined book 2 and 3. They shouldn't have.
No.
But the show was still good. Season 1 of the show was just fantastic.
Yeah. I'm sad.
I'm so sad. I keep secretly hoping that someone else is going to pick it up.
Revive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Six of Crows deserves their own storyline.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And that kind of took a weird turn, I think, in season 2 as well. I just think they made some weird choices in season 2. Yeah. But season 1, so good.
Agreed.
Moving on. Oh, Outlander. Have you read Outlander?
I have read the first book.
Oh my God. I love the books. I love the show. I think they're even Stevens for me. Seeing this one came to life was hot, to say the least.
Yeah, I read the first book and then I watched the first season.
Yeah.
And then I continued watching the seasons, but I didn't continue with the books.
Fair. That's fine. The show's good. I honestly think if you've watched the show, you don't need to read the books, but if you've read the books, you need to watch the show.
Yeah, fair.
Do you know what I'm saying? I really liked the show. I thought the casting was great. And I thought they did it justice. And yummy.
ACOTAR aside.
What
do you think about the murmurings of
him
Sam
playing
Heughan?
Yeah, of him playing Tamlin? Listen, I think he would actually be a good choice as Tamlin, and if that's the age group we're going, okay, let's get Henry. If this is the age group we're going with,
yeah,
okay. I actually think he would be fine.
I do too.
Tamlin's one of those characters that I'm like, I don't really care who plays him.
I mean, he's going to be on screen a lot.
But he has to be so good that we get a season 2.
The thing is, like, you have to love him.
You have to. And I do think that Sam is very lovable.
Yeah.
And he looks the part, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's my worry. My worry, we're getting on a totally tangent here, but my worry is that that's going to come off cheesy and we're not even going to get a second season, which is where the show takes off. So they're going to have to take some liberties and bring some characters into season 1 that wouldn't normally be in season 1. That's my fear. Anyways, moving on, because I could go on a whole topic about this.
I know, we can't talk about ACOTAR though, so I feel like it just automatically. Oh, this one's you.
Oh, this one's me. Heartstopper. Oh my God, the books are so good. The show is the sweetest, most incredible adaptation of a book I've ever seen. They really bring the animation to it to make it high school romance. Oh my God, it's just,
I've heard nothing but good things.
Charming and delightful. It's just so sweet. It's just the sweetest thing I've ever seen. You really, really should watch it. It's so cute. And they're short episodes.
Okay.
I know you love a short episode.
I do. You're selling it.
And the adorable high school romance of it, and of course,
young love.
It's just.
So it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Would you say it's better than the books?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say it's better than the books because the casting is top notch, and to see these kind of sweet but awkward moments happen, to watch them fall in love and it be done right.
Yeah.
It be done right, not rushed, and it just be it's so sweet.
And I think it's so things like this prove that just good casting is not enough to make things better than the book. You know what I mean? There's so many more elements that have to fall into line.
The chemistry has to be there. But
the
also
script needs to be there.
And the editing of this and the way that they bring the scribbles to life on it. It's just really, really nice to see something done so well.
Yeah.
Right. My heart. Right. Okay, I never read this one, but I've seen the show. So this one's you.
Friday Night Lights.
Lord, I did not even know it was a book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a nonfiction book, and I definitely read it before the.
Is it a series or one book?
No, I think it's just one book.
Wow.
And I definitely read it I think when the show was announced or something and I saw murmurings, I would do that a lot. When I would see like murmurings of a show coming out.
Did you see the movie?
Yes. So it goes alongside the... Yes. Okay. Yes. And then they made the show, and I mean, the show.
The movie was really good, too.
The movie was great.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the book
Kyle Chandler in... I mean...
Kyle Chandler.
And then we got... What's her... Tammy
Taylor.
Yeah. You know. Mm-hmm. You know her, Tammy Taylor. Why? Like, I haven't seen this show in so long, and so I'm like, Matt Saracen, and all the names are still in there. Tim Riggins.
It's actually bothering me what her real name is right now. It's like driving me nuts. Yes, but I didn't know it was a book.
Yeah.
So
I read the book. I mean, book was fine.
Book was fine. So this is one where it's definitely just better.
Yeah.
Great.
Friday Night Lights. Connie Britton. Tammy Taylor. There we go. They are goals, right?
Absolutely. That was a hot cast, too.
Yeah. So good.
I mean, they didn't really go on to do all that much.
That's fine.
I mean, one of them is actually a box office stinker. But, poor kid. Moving on, let's go to The Witcher. So let it be known, I haven't read the whole thing. But if you're going to put Henry Cavill in a show, I'm going to love it, and it's going to be great. I love The Witcher. I'm really sad that he's leaving the show.
Would you go back and read the rest of the books?
No.
All right.
I mean, I feel like I don't need to.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. Like.
So you feel like the show does a good enough job?
Good enough job that I read the first book and was like, that's great. I'll just keep watching the show.
All right.
Let it be known. If Henry Cavill is in something, I will watch it.
Now, how do you feel about the recast?
That's what I'm saying. I'm really sad about it. I don't know how they're going to do this.
Are they just going to pretend like it's just he's the same person?
I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come in as someone else. I don't know. But I'm really, confused and angry about the situation as to why it even came up in the first place.
Yeah.
It seems maybe it frees up Henry to play someone else.
Yeah, maybe. Else.
I don't know. He could be anything, and I'd be happy. Little Fires Everywhere. We probably should put this with Big Little Lies.
Yeah. Those all go together.
Yeah.
I liked the book.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
I really liked the show.
The show stays with me more than the book does.
Yeah.
The show was so well done. And I think about it a lot. It sticks in my brain. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those ones that I think back to every now and then.
I love Kerry Washington so much.
She can do no wrong. I mean, I've loved her since
Save the Last Dance?
Since Save the Last Dance! That's what I was going to say! Oh my god.
What, you thought I was going to say Olivia Pope?
I was like, maybe. I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I forget that you're a little younger than me. Maybe, I don't know if you've seen it. Yes, I've loved her since then. Kerry Washington can do no wrong.
Ugh.
Let it be known.
So good.
Here's where we get a little... Here's where I think some people could fight me on it. And I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I'm going to say they're wrong. True Blood. I get it. It's so different than the books. So it's hard to compare. But I'm saying I really, really, really hated who Sookie ended up with in the books. The 1,000,000 books that I read of this series.
Did you read all of them?
I read the whole thing. They started off good. I liked certain parts of the book. I liked that Sookie, basically, marries Eric in the book and things like that. But the way that book took a turn and she ended up with someone she shouldn't have ended up with. Why did I even waste my time in this love triangle for her to end up with someone that's not in the love triangle?
Another love triangle?
But I also didn't like the ending of the show. But the show had Eric, okay? The show had Alexander Skarsgård, and
he's your boy.
I love my little Swedish Viking. Okay, I am a Swede. I love him. He's so good. I will watch anything that man is in. I just loved it. I loved the show. I don't care what anybody says. It's a weird comfort watch for me. I've watched it several times. HBO knows how to do it.
You heard it here. True Blood, the show,
the show, over the book. Fight me on it. The books there's too many books. It's Too many books for her to end up with someone.
Let's stay in the same vampire realm.
Oh, the Vampire Diaries. Again, very different. The show's very different than the book. Let it be known that, like, in the book, she has blonde hair.
Oh, no.
Like, she's very different than Nina Deprave. Okay? And lots of things happen in the book that don't happen in the show. But, again, I am an Ian Somerhalder whore. Like, I love Ian Somerhalder. These boys...
Ian Somerhalder can get it.
He can get it, yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. Love them. I thought they were great. I like the Caroline character was great. Kind of everyone was great except for Nina Deprave. Once she left the show, I was like, great. But I loved the show. It brought in the originals, which is another spin-off show that I loved.
Is that part of the books?
Yes. Very much so. And I was so happy that they got their own show, which then led to Legacies, which is another show. I'm telling you, Vampire Diaries is, for me, what a lot of these book boyfriends represent. Like, the OG Morley Gray book boyfriends for me. And I'm actually, like, reading a book that is based off of Vampire Diaries. Like, right now, the Sunken City. I just started it, but that's how she sold it to me on TikTok, where she was like,
there you go.
She was like, if you liked Vampire Diaries.
Done. Download.
Boom. Anyways, that I think we clicked off all of our vampires.
Yeah, we sure did. It's a lot of vampires.
Yeah, although you could throw in Vampire Academy in here, but let's move on.
Okay.
I didn't read this book, but I definitely watched a show.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. Is the book good?
I mean, the show's better.
Okay. The show is intense. But without this show, would we have...
Manacled? No. I mean, we have the book, so maybe, but
it's so based off the show.
It's so based off the show.
Yeah. Handmaid's Tale, when that first season hit, everybody watched it, I feel like. And it hit me hard.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I watching?
Yeah. And then I feel like I actually have fallen off, like, the last season that was out. Like, I haven't finished it.
Yeah. And I think I stopped at third season.
Yeah, it almost... the state of the world almost became too much like...
Is could this really
happen?
Yes. You know it felt a little too scary, too real.
Felt a little bit like...
Is it a series of books or one book?
There's one book.
And so we went way off topic. From the show was like, now we have to go.
I believe so, yeah.
Gotcha.
Don't quote me.
It did feel a little like...
Quote Margaret Atwood.
This is going to be my life?
Yeah, well, some of the news stories coming out, they're trying to make it that way.
Well, thankfully, I am no longer someone that you can have children with. I don't know. You don't want this. I'm an old cow.
Fertile myrtle.
No, none of that. I did not know the next one was a book.
Rizzoli and Isles. Okay, well, first I have to take you back because...
Take me back, Sarah!
Angie Harmon starred in there was one season, I believe, called Women's Murder Club. Okay. And that was based off of a series of books by James Patterson. They were like numbers, so it was like 1, 2, 3. There's like 20.
I've seen these, yes.
I read all of them.
Sure.
And I loved them.
You read something murdery?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I mean, I also read like Big Little Lies, like those like kind of thriller type.
Yeah.
But yeah, a procedural police drama, apparently.
The way my mom loves this show.
So, Women's Murder Club, I was so devastated when it got canceled after one season. Clearly, it definitely wasn't. I mean, but when like you like a series so much and you're just like so excited
like Julie and the Phantoms?
God. Yes. Oh, I love
Bring it back. Was that based on a book?
Probably.
But damn, that show was good.
So good. Anyways, so then she got cast in Rizzoli and Isles.
Yeah.
Is also a series.
Yeah.
Love that too.
Good for you, Angie Harmon.
I'm telling you. But I love the series so much.
I'm so happy for you.
But I think I love the show more.
Oh my god, that makes me so happy. Yeah. You and my mom would have so much to talk about.
A lot of TNT reruns.
TNT!
Yeah. I don't watch it anymore, but it was a good time of my life.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you watched last week's episode, if you listened to that one, We brought up how the movie Golden Compass was trash. However, they made a adaptation of it on, is it HBO?
I want to say HBO.
Called His Dark Materials, and it's way better than the movie. It's way closer to the book, and it's really good. Mm-hmm. I really like it. I have fallen off. I have not watched the most recent season, just because I have what do you call it? What's the TBR version of TV shows? Because I have quite the...
You're up next?
But yeah, my up next. I have quite the catalog of shows on deck. Yeah. I watch a lot of TV, so I'll get there. But boy...
That 600 episode Turkish side quest took up a little bit of time. Okay.
Let it be known that he is Cassian, and I had to watch it because... This man is like, okay.
His name Can Yaman?
Can Yaman. Look him up. He is a living, breathing version of Cassian. And I was like...
I don't disagree.
I sent it to you and I was like, do I watch this show? And you were like, no. So I watched an entire Turkish show on YouTube. And it was actually quite good. But I got real... The ADHD took over. I got in a real rabbit hole. And I didn't watch, eat, sleep, breathe. No reading happened. I
can't stop watching.
Devoured this man. Go to his Instagram.
It's a thirst trap.
The thirst trap is real. Anyways, His Dark Materials is what we were talking about. Why am I like this?
Let's go to another show. You didn't watch this one either.
David Boreanaz.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Right. No, I watched it. I just didn't know it was a book.
Yeah. Bones.
Yeah. No. Yes.
So this is a little trivia for people who don't know this about me.
Okay.
There was a time in my life, you know how you cycle through like things you're gonna be?
I see where this is going.
You know? So like at one point I was gonna be like a marine biologist.
Sure.
Then one year I was gonna be like a PE teacher.
Yep.
And then at one point I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
Well, then there was like I would say at least like a 5 to 7 year stretch where I was going to be a medical examiner. I was going to be a forensic pathologist.
Was this when like CSI was at its height and like
no.
these? Oh no.
No. I didn't watch any of that.
If you CSI, this was before that.
I had decided that I had this like affinity for learning about the human body. And I thought it was very cool that like forensic pathologists were solving a puzzle in reverse.
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, I went to Body Worlds at the Science Museum, and I thought that was, like, the best birthday present I've ever had in my life was a ticket to Body Worlds.
Your Ravenclaw is showing hard right now. It
sure is. So, Bones, there are books.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Did not know this.
I was in a whole stretch with, like, if you look up the author Mary Roach, she writes some, like, it's, like, kind of nonfiction almost stuff.
Okay.
Listen, oh, my God. So embarrassing.
Tell the listeners what you ended up being. Just so they can see where your trajectory went.
I mean, technically I have
still went in that.
I'm a registered nurse.
From marine biology to a registered nurse to podcaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at me now, Mom.
Yeah.
Those student loans are still getting paid. Yeah.
College.
Yeah. Go college.
So Bones,
show better than the books, okay?
Okay, great.
I'm just saying.
So I don't need to go read them.
Freaking love that show.
Dude.
Every episode.
Can we just, like, take a moment to appreciate that David Boreanaz has been working forever?
Forever.
Like, he's, like, never stopped this
Think about how many episodes he's filmed. Just across his life.
Just across this man's life. Did I even go see a shitty movie because he was in it? I think it was called Valentine's Day or something. And he was a murderer. Shocker. I know, like a hot murderer. But at that time, like seeing Angel be a bad boy, I was like, I'm here for it.
Oh God. Like, how old is he? Does he even age? You know what I mean?
He's looked the exact same.
Yeah.
Since Buffy to now, same Z's.
He sold his soul at some point.
He's a demigod.
Yeah.
Like, I'm convinced. All right, moving on to our last one. Oh, this was such a good show. And the book was good too, but the show blew me away. 9 Perfect Strangers. What? I didn't see this one coming. I thought they were going to ruin it. I thought there was no way this was going to be good.
The way that we would be like waiting for the next episode to come out.
Boy, I hate that. Just drop them all.
I know. I know.
Ooh, it was
What was this on Hulu?
Good. Yeah. So good.
Which makes me wonder, this Apples Never Fall show that's coming out.
I haven't read the book, but boy, I'm going to watch the show.
Part of me's like, should I read the book?
You read the book, I'll watch the show.
All right.
And then
we'll trade these. And you won't read it.
And we'll see what we like based on which one we saw first. Watch first.
Ooh. Research. My Ravenclaw likes this.
Variable change. Your Ravenclaw shows a lot. But does my Hufflepuff show a lot?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's the yellow aura that's just always around you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes you're more of a honey badger than a badger.
Wait, are honey badgers mean?
Yeah, but they're fierce. Fierce, I would say.
I got excited by the name, and then I was like, wait, are you saying?
Like, you would go to bat? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Do you know they actually are calling, so our children are part of Gen Alpha?
Yeah.
And their nickname is the Honey Badger generation.
That's fantastic. Because as my Hufflepuff trait, I am crazy loyal to a bad fault. Like, I get myself in trouble defending other people. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
But that's okay. It's just part of who I am. So.
But you're also a 2, and there's loyalty in being a 2. So
my Enneagram is a 2.
You got a double dose of the loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah.
There's some flaws to me, folks. So,
right along that vein, those are all of the shows that we think.
Now that we're on it, what's your Enneagram?
Drop it in the comments.
What house are you in? And what's your Enneagram? Also, follow us on all of our social medias, specifically TikTok, because we're really, it's at Book Bingers.
Send it to all your friends.
Because we're really trying to get to 1,000 followers so we can do some lives. We really want to do some live reads.
Yeah, live reads.
We want to do some live trivia, some live watching of Harry Potter. Like, we want to do a whole Harry Potter thing. So please go follow us.
Please.
Smash that subscribe button. What are all the things? What do the children say?
Comment, subscribe.
Ring that bell. Turn on all your notifications. You should hear my daughter try to do her little YouTube intros.
We should just have them record it for us.
Yeah.
Because they know better than us.
They sure do. Gen Alpha.
Not my daughter going on all of the YouTube Kid accounts that we have and like subscribing to our YouTube channel.
That a girl.
She's like, you need to get subscribers, Mom.
We sure do.
Like, she goes, these people have 500,000. That's going to be you soon. Mm-hmm. I love the positivity.
Yep. That's going to be us.
Yep.
Look out, world. Mm-hmm. Here we come.
Taking the book world by storm.
Book bingers.
Yeah.
Here to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for real. Especially if you want to do book retreats, you need to follow our social medias because that's where we're going to be posting everything.
All the info.
And we are doing a book retreat this fall in Florida. It's going to be amazing. We haven't even put it on sale yet, so make sure you sign up for all of our socials so you can be one of the first people to sign up because we're going to give a little discount. Yeah, that's our little plug.
Yeah.
Really good at plugging this.
Yeah. So if you've watched to this point and you've left us your Enneagram number and your Harry Potter house, that's it. So
be our friend.
Join us next week when we discuss, well, I suppose it's going to be books that are better than the series.
And we have the Harry Potter podcast coming up where we dissect Harry Potter book versus movie, and we'll talk about the upcoming show.
Yeah.
And we've got some just straight up book ones.
Going back to basics.
Where if you haven't read the book, I don't know. So sorry. I really want to do a reread of Twilight. What do you guys think? Sarah's not on board, but...
I said fine.
She said fine.
I said fine. I'm actually very curious to see if I'll like it as much.
I know. You know I named my dog Jasper.
Jasper's been mentioned on like 5 podcasts.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pour one out for Jasper.
Pour one out for my dog. Why? This is the Minnesota goodbye right here. We just can't end it.
All right.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.